Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Select your heroes. There was turmoil in the heavens. For reasons unknown to mortals, at some point even gods must die. After one such death, there was an open seat at the table of creation. A god was needed. The challengers that want to compete for the seat must select mortal heroes and summon them to AIOLLUS. The heroes will perform quests, spending 6 days preparing themselves before entering the arena to fight to the death. The challenger whose champion is left standing will be elevated to godhood. Assemble your team. The Sacred Paladin, the Nefarious Death Knight, the Dragon Warrior, the Dwarf Barbarian, the Vampire Assassin, the Savage Werewolf, the Elven Hunter, the Deviant Succubus, the Elemental Witch, the Ancient Druid, the Celestial Priestess, the Horrid Necromancer. Choose wisely. Consider their alignment, the weapons and armor they can equip, and how they will use their skills as a team. Then enter AIOLLUS, City of Gods. Assign your heroes to quests and gain loot. Decide what kind of god you will become. This will decisively affect your heroes in battle. Each path you take grants you distinct powers. Explore the different locations of AIOLLUS. Gain gold at the mercenary camp. Rest at the tavern. Arm yourself at the market. Bribe the Thieves' Guild to hinder your enemies. Heal and gain mana at the cathedral. Prepare rituals that will shape the arena. Bid against your foes for powerful artifacts. At the end of 6 days, enter the arena. Select powers to strengthen your heroes. Alter the arena with prepared rituals. Use spells to attack multiple enemies. Use your hero's unique skills. At the end of 9 turns, be the last hero standing. Are you prepared to claim your birthright as a god? Join us on Kickstarter!
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me neither, but that is the story behind Theosis, a new game on Kickstarter from Dreamcraft Games. And today or tonight or whenever you're listening to this, we're lucky enough to have on the designer of that great game, AIOLLUS. Dang it, I don't want to slaughter his name. Maybe, can you tell him how to say your name?
It is AIOLLUS. You got it right, Blake, and really, really thanks a lot for inviting me here.
Yeah, no problem. We appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, especially with such short notice.
Well, it's an honor for me to have an opportunity to talk about my game and try to explain to the world what it is all about.
Awesome. Yeah, hopefully we can get this out to the world and they'll be able to, more people will find out about the game here. Are you on any other podcasts?
Actually, this is my first podcast. This again with another one done by with Jimmy Hudson.
Oh, okay. So you are on Jimmy Hudson's podcast too?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I just actually listened to one of his podcasts earlier today. I like his podcast too. He creates great content. So awesome. So yeah, before we get into your game and everything that's great about it, let's rewind a little bit if we could. We don't have to go back too far, of course, unless you were born into tabletop board gaming. But how did you get started into playing tabletop board games and whatnot?
Well, I actually started really early when I was very young. My uncle and my family used to play all together Risk, and they were just playing Risk, and this was my first old-style tabletop games. after that, I tried to figure out and discover more games, and I was really excited with other games like Through the Ages, Civilization, Game of Thrones, or similar games. So I really love strategy games.
Awesome. So I've had people on here that have talked about Risk before. I'm a big fan of Risk myself. Me and my son like to play it, and my other kids. I don't know if this is something you want to divulge to the world, but what kind of, if you do, what kind of strategy do you use when you play Risk?
You see, I always try to play a different strategy in order to win, and somehow I always manage to lose. So I'm not quite a good player, I suppose. That's because some strategies in Risk and in other games are the best potential, the most efficient strategies. We all know them. We can find them out and discover them and see how our opponent plays and try to play that strategy. But that's a bit boring. So I prefer to try to, how can I say it? Prototype or try to figure out different things and try to always try to start something new and see how this goes. So most of the time I do lose when playing Risk or something similar.
Oh, that's okay. My son, I don't know how he does it every time, but my son, he's 15? Yeah, 15. And he always he takes Asia. He starts with Asia, and then he'll annihilate me. I don't know how he does it, because that's like one of the hardest ones to keep hold of.
Yes, I usually try to stay in Australia and stay there, but it doesn't work that way, no. We always lose.
Yeah, me too. I like Australia, and then next to Australia, South America, and then Africa. Those are my first top threes that I like to go for first.
Yeah, similarly, also the same. It's more controllable, and maybe south of Southern America could be okay, but I don't know. It's been a lot of years since I've played Risk, so kind of forgotten how to play it.
Oh, that's okay. So at current time, besides Theosis, because if I let you pick your own game, people might not like that too much. Who knows what they do to me, my fans at least. So besides Theosis, what's your current favorite game to play?
I like to try different games because I try to become a designer, and it is not easy. I think that all mechanisms and things are quite well played out. So I try to play different games all the time in order to get ideas and see how things work and try to understand the way that the other designer designed the game. And in each game, I can say that I always find something that I find amazing. For example, even in the latest Civilization that just came out 1 year ago, I really liked. I didn't like the game that much, but I really liked the mechanic with the actions and the bidding, which is something that Rurik, which is now a really, really great game, opposite, it's an adversary of ours in Kickstarter, and Rurik is a great game having also a bidding mechanism that I really, really liked and find quite exciting. So, which game I would say that I still play some Through the Ages. I really like Through the Ages. I like Vlada, and I like all the similar games.
Oh, okay, awesome. And you talked about with just playing all kinds of different games as a designer or whatnot, trying to get an idea of them. Do you have a favorite mechanic?
Favorite mechanic? I do like bidding, actually. It is something that it's actually game theory in its basics. When you bid, you have to estimate and understand what the opponent will bid. You try to bluff him, and it's kind of a take that mechanism also at the same time. So you have to see how the other player will go, try to understand his bid and try to overcome it. This is why I like all games that have bidding inside, and also Theosis. I have included this mechanism in the artifact section.
Okay, awesome. Speaking of that, the bidding mechanic and Theosis, the word on the street is you have a new game on Kickstarter currently. What can you tell us about Theosis?
Well, it is a nice game, first of all. What would you expect me to say? But really, Theosis is what will people think as a first impression when they look at Theosis is they say that, okay, they have two genres different. They have worker placement and they have the skirmish tactical combat game, and they're trying to combine it. And people think that this is the most difficult part in this game, how to combine two completely different ways of playing into one. In my point of view, the most challenging part of Theosis was having the combat and the game flow fluently. I mean, it is a fast game. It is a fun game. We wanted to have strategy. We want to have tactical decisions. We want to have decisions in worker placement. But we did not want all this to be hindered after a lot of thought or having to read special rules in manuals and rule books. No, we wanted everything to be one sentence in a card in the player's hand, so the game goes fast and fluent. So if someone asks me what Theosis is all about, I would not say it is about combining two different games, worker placement and tactical combat. I would say it's about having a game which is fast, which is fun, which has a lot of take that, and it's quite exciting.
It sounds like it, yeah, for sure. So, and it sounds like perhaps, because one of my pet peeves, well, not a pet peeve, but something I dislike very much is going ahead and I'm trying to get into it, but diving into a rule book or whatnot. It sounds like maybe that won't be the case here, that I can just go ahead and start playing and everything that I can do is on my cards.
Well, actually, I think that you should be able, what we tried to create was a game that you get the game, you set it up, and afterwards you don't even need a rule book. I mean, having to go back into a rule book to clarify something is something that breaks the game, breaks the excitement of the game. You always have in a table a rules lawyer who will say, no, this should not be the case or anything. And people start to speak and they speak if the rules are correct, but they miss the fun of the game. So what we intended to do is have a game that fluents seamlessly into the player. A game that you just see at the card, you understand what it is, how you should play it, and you act intuitively into it. That was our goal, and I believe we managed to create this.
That sounds like my kind of game. So yeah, because I hate having to go back to the rule books and then it totally draws everybody out. My kids get drawn out because we're busy trying to find out if we're playing right, and they go ahead and get onto their iPads and devices, and then it just makes for a long evening, I guess.
Yes, we just want people to have fun, to play something fast, but not necessarily. That shouldn't mean that doesn't have depth, that doesn't have strategy. Each time you play the game, after you finish, you just stay and think, okay, what if I had chosen a different hero? What if my heroes did not take this alignment and try to go through a different alignment? What if I focus too much on power cards and less on items? Or what if I should better keep my money and use them on rituals or gain more mana at the cathedral? Different choices. Replayability was something very, very, very important for us. We do not want to offer the world a game where you just play it once or twice and then, okay, get bored and leave it behind. We want to, when people gather, to have more new exciting games to play, and they still say, okay, but let's play a game of Theosis. Let's have some fun. Let's play the game that we enjoy the most. And that's what we try to do. Have depth, have a lot of replayability, so each game is completely different game, and people having to have fun.
Well, that sounds really fun. So, per se, me and you sat down to play Theosis. How would that look? Wait, I mean, how would it sound? This is a podcast, after all.
Well, how it will sound? You get to choose your team. You are a demigod. You get to choose your mortal heroes. I get to choose mine. We just go enter Hierapolis, and from there on, we, as both demigods, we assign quests to our heroes. So we take our heroes and we assign them. We might have them to do a merciful quest, or I might be more vengeful. So you actually decide by playing quests what kind of gods you want to become. So after you allocate your heroes with your decisions, you gain some things, as you do in worker placement games. For example, you get some gold, you might steal some gold from someone, you might allocate your heroes to the market and equip themselves with arms, you might go to gain some mana, you might want to make traps in the arena afterwards. So you go and put some rituals programmed over there to explode or anything. And also you get some power cards, which will enable you to empower your heroes afterwards. So what will actually happen when we play against is that we both will try to see what the other player is doing for his attack. For example, you will see that I will take the power of the fireball because I'm going to use the fireball in the arena. So you better go and equip your heroes with arms and armor and shields that will protect you from fire. At the same time, you will see what I am lacking in defense, and you will take this kind of powers, this kind of weapons that will be able to penetrate my defenses. So it's kind of a Cold War thing where we both try to outsmart each other, and the tension builds up, and we have a lot of excitement, gaining a lot of tension, and then we go to the arena and throw it all in, and we battle, and the excitement goes all the way to the roof.
Oh, okay, that sounds pretty fun. So, but one question for you per se. Well, I suffer from AP or analysis paralysis. Is that going to have much of an effect on me in this game?
Well, there are a lot of decisions. As in each worker placement games, you do have the locations where you place your workers. Now, what we try to do in that part is we did not want to put boundaries to people or having them make a decision and have a negative effect on them. Whatever you do, you will give you back a positive effect. For example, you cannot allocate your hero somewhere and maybe have a negative effect through the decisions that were made or something like that. You gain stuff. You gain a lot of good stuff. So yes, you will have good choices to decide, but eventually you will have to make a decision. I think that decisions are important, and there should be in the games. Now, if you're a kind of player that takes even 1 hour for one simple thing, then I'll just have to say, come on, let's play. Come on, Blake, play. Play a bit faster.
There you go. Yeah, I had one of my friends on the podcast a while back ago that runs TLDR game series. They go ahead and do kind of a different take on reviewing games or whatnot. But he said when I had him on, if he was to play, I want to even say it might have been Through the Ages. I forget what game it was. So one of those heavier, meatier games. He said if I sat down to play it with him, he would enact a 2-minute timer for me.
Okay. Well, we did thought of having a timer, but it just messes up all the fun. You should not have a timer. You should just play along and see what happens. If things go well, even you who might want to take a lot of time to make the perfect decision, you might be overcome by the excitement and the fast pace of the game and just play along. Eventually, it's not that one decision will destroy the whole game. You will not lose the whole game. You can even overturn the game at the last round. So it's not something that you, oh my God, I made a mistake, I lost completely the game. The game does not punish you for one mistake because there are no mistakes. There are actually good decisions that you make. So you didn't make the best decision, but you really made a really good enough decision. You will have just to see how to get on the end.
And it looks like you can play it looks like if you, for say you want to do something yourself, like you can't get your game group together, it looks like this might be able to play one player as well. Is that correct?
Yes, well, you see, our backers actually unlocked the stretch goal where we play now co-op mode and solo mode. So yes, you can play even by one player. And actually, they just unlocked today the first monster. So it's going to be another huge miniature over there, and soon they will unlock more monsters just to enter the arena, and they can co-op together, all fight together. Or even if you have an hour free to play, you just set up your heroes and try to figure out how to win the artificial intelligence of the monster and how to overcome the way that the monster will act. Try to select the best heroes to attack it. Try to select the best powers. Try to select the best weapons and armors to defend and attack him. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. So now, per se, somebody's fallen asleep. It wouldn't be because of you or this great game you have. It'd be because of me and my podcast. Right now, it's a running joke, but it could be true. Nobody's confirmed either way, so we're going to go with it. But at the time of this recording, we're entering the third week of July, and we already, since the first of the year, we already have 115 episodes out. So sometimes people get tired of hearing me ramble on and they fall asleep. But now they've suddenly jolted awake, so they don't hit that oncoming traffic. Why should they take a chance on Theosis, especially with all the other great games that are out there on the Kickstarters currently?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. There are great games out there. There are a lot of great companies out there. There are newcomer companies, and there are companies that do actually amazing videos. I am overwhelmed by our competitors. I mean, I see a lot of actually amazing games with amazing miniatures, with perfect gameplay, and they spend a lot of money in marketing. We could never compete against those on the marketing side. So because we know and we understand that we cannot, we are our first creator, this is our first game. We did not have one chance at beating those companies at marketing because we don't have the money. They're actually enormous companies. What we did is create the best game that we could and play tested a lot. Play tested for 1 year blindly. We know that we cannot compete anywhere else. So gameplay is our strong point. We made a fun game, a fast game, a game that people enjoy, a different game. Now people could say that, okay, we will not risk our money on trying something new with our first creator. I can understand this and I respect them. But if everyone thinks like that, then we will end up with 3 or 4 companies in the world just making games. What I would suggest is not buy our game or support us on Kickstarter, but come and talk to us. Come and see what we have created. Try to understand if this game is a fun game to play. If they have a great time playing it. If it has strategy, if it has depth, if it has all these things that will make it one of their best games. It will not be the most valuable game or a more expensive game. For example, I can see all these great games and they have a lot of add-ons, and you start paying for the game, and you pay for the base game, and then you pay for an add-on, and then you pay for an expansion and another add-on, and then you have to pay a lot of money. What we did in comparison is we had one game box with all the add-ons included as stretch goals. In this way, you do not have to pay more money. You just have to buy the core game, and included in the core game, you get everything. I think it's more affordable, and it's really another approach, because we do not want to try to get a lot of money or anything. We want people to get to know us. We want people to meet our game and see how it is played and see if it's a nice game to have fun with. And we prefer not making money and having people actually really happy with their decision to support a new company, a new creator, than to try to, try to use Kickstarter to gain money or something like that. We have a different approach.
Yeah, that's really good, because my wife is a completionist and she likes to collect everything. So when they come out with all these different things that you have to go ahead and buy extras, I like it better that way, where you get the stretch goals. So that's pretty good.
Okay, Blake. So I think you understand what I'm trying to say to you, and to the world, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely. So that's awesome. So we'll leave the links in the show notes. So if you're listening or whatnot, go ahead and click that link on the top and you'll be able to find out all about Theosis. If you can't, if you don't have the money, any extra money or whatnot, even sharing it on your social medias or whatnot, or even backing it for $1 helps out a lot, because everybody you have on your following you on there on the Kickstarter will see it and say, this was backed by so-and-so, and then they'll be able to check it out as well. So whatever you can do, anything helps. Yeah, so at least go check it out and do what you can. It looks like a great game. They have funded, and they're going, like you said, they're going for stretch goals, so there's no need to worry about this isn't going to fund. But you better get on it right now because this project ends within a week. It ends Tuesday, the 24th of July. So if you want to have a chance to play Theosis, go click that link right now. If somebody's listening after the fact, if they jump on and listen to this after the podcast comes out or after the game is already funded, is there going to be a way for them to pre-order or whatnot as well?
Well, we do have a pledge manager, so we will have late pledges, but actually what we want is to have a Kickstarter exclusive game. So we will provide this game over here and we'll see what happens in the future. But if someone wants to find out what it's all about, we are here. Anyone can add me on his Facebook, or we can speak in the campaign, or we can speak in Messenger or whatever. We are here to answer any questions. We are open to the world, and nothing makes us more happy than having the opportunity to talk about what we have created. Well, not that nothing. Playing, if we could play with other people our game, that will be the best possible solution. But being here in Greece was really, really difficult because we could not showcase our games into conventions, and people play games and they decide after playing a game if they like it or not. It's really difficult through words. So at least if anyone wants to find us anything out, please ask us. We are here to answer any questions and we will explain the best we can about our game.
Okay, awesome. So minus coming there to Greece to stalk you or ask these questions in person, how would they go about finding out about it?
Well, first of all, they will come over here. We will go out next to the sea. We will drink a lot of ouzo, and he will be so drunk, he wouldn't remember the day after what he was playing, but he will remember that he had a great time.
Oh, there you go. So there's that option. But if they can't make it over to Greece to do that with you, how would they go about keeping up with you and Theosis?
Hopefully we are getting funded, so we will also go to the Essen Game Fair and showcase our game over there. And we have a lot of other projects coming out. We have another game in 3 months, a new game coming out. So what we are intending to do is trying to find someone in the United States to showcase our games over there, to send them a lot of prototypes and having people play our games so they can decide for their own if they like something like that. But I can tell them that if they can trust me, they would really, really like Theosis. It's a really, really nice game.
Well, there you go. So that's awesome. So, yeah, how do they find you online?
Well, they can find us on Kickstarter, or they can just search for Theosis on Facebook, and they can find us on Facebook. And if they speak on Facebook, they can send us a message, and we can speak with them.
Yeah, so there you go. Now, I know you've been pretty busy running this Kickstarter campaign and everything, so you haven't got a chance to listen to the podcast, and that's okay. But the next portion of our podcast is called Adventures in Application Acquisition, where we talk about an app, be it for your cell phone, your computer, your video games, or even a tablet or anything. I don't know how it works in Greece, but are there apps you guys use over there?
Everyone uses apps all over the world.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I've never been over to Greece, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, so that's awesome. So is there an app you use a lot of that we can talk about for a minute?
Well, I would say that I use a lot of apps for playing mobile games. Mobile games. I mean, board games. For example, Through the Ages app was really, really good. And the Kickstarter app is really helping us because we cannot be in the next to the computer all the time, but we can use the app and answer questions to our backers and everything online at any place, anytime. Well, there are a lot of applications. I think that no one can live without applications anymore. Everyone uses apps.
Yeah. I wonder how I did it back in the day. Like I went to high school and stuff, and now I see the kids and stuff, and I wonder, how did I exist without a cell phone? So you talked to Through the Ages app. Per se, somebody lives under a rock and doesn't have that one or hasn't played Through the Ages. What can you tell us about the app? Is it different than the game, or?
Well, actually, nowadays they're making a lot of apps which are really, really, really good. It's like playing the game. But however, I really have to say that playing a game in an app, no matter how intuitive it might be, or easy to use, or you have the comfort of your house being on your couch or anything, it is not the same as playing a board game with friends. It's an app will never be the same, cannot substitute the way that people communicate and have fun and tease each other and play a game and bond through gaming. So in my point of view, apps are wonderful just to get to learn the rules and play a game solo, but it's nothing that can substitute the real experience of a board game and a company playing together.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So yeah, that's good. So if you own the rights to any of these board game apps, what would you do to make them better, do you think?
Add video so you can see the other people that we are playing through, see their faces, see their reactions, do something and see how they react to it, and having the app being more social tool than it is right now.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. I want to say that's the best response I've ever gotten to that question. So yeah, if any creators or anybody who's ever listening, we try to make a green podcast around here. So if anybody who makes their app, their video games or their board games into an app is ever listening, you heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief, what the creator, what the designer of Theosis would do to make those apps better. Add the social element. Make sure so we can see when you screw your friends over on the game, on the app, that you can see their faces and stuff like that. So that's awesome. Now, we don't want to keep you all night, but we really want to appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief to talk all about Theosis. And once again, we encourage people to go check out the Kickstarter page while they still have a chance. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us tonight.
Blake, really, really thanks. You've been a great company, and it's been a wonderful evening with you. Really thanks.
No problem.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaves computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leaves.
I don't think I'll ever get tired of hearing her sing that song. What is this thing? What is it doing in my computer? It's Kickstarter Corner with the Leafs. So, what should you say? We get on with Kickstarter Corner, shall we? Anyway, we've got some great games coming to you. Bear with me, I've got a new computer going on. So anyways, first off, we've got The Forgotten Dungeon Mega Adventure, AD&D, and D&D 5e. The Forgotten Dungeon is an adventure that incorporates legendary artists from the days of TSR. This is being brought to us by Stephen Lee. And it's currently on Indiegogo. I know he had it on Kickstarter, but they suspended funds, so hopefully it'll go back up there after a while. But in the meantime, jump over here to Indiegogo and you can check out this great campaign. Let's see here. There's lots of different things. What we need and what you get. The funding raised in this campaign will help us produce the final edition of this mega adventure, along with maps and support for AD&D and D&D 5e, 77 Worlds, and Dragon Scales FRPG. Yep, so there's a bunch of maps and a bunch of booklets, all kinds of fun stuff. At least jump over to the Kickstarter, well, not Kickstarter, well, I guess you could search it on Kickstarter. It'll show up, just like I said, the funding's suspended. It should open up pretty soon here. But in the meantime, jump over to Indiegogo and check out that great campaign, and you can see what you can get, especially if you're a role player. I definitely recommend you go ahead and do this. Next, we've got Out of Sorts, a game for creative kids of all ages. It's a beautifully laser engraved mix and match game to encourage creativity, imagination, and tons of fun. Now they're edging up to their goal. They're at about 7,500 out of 10,000, so 7,500 out of 10,000, so they're getting close. And by the time you hear this, it might be a little bit less than 48 hours, or right around there. So you got 2 days to back it. You might as well go check it out. The Leafs really loved it. We previewed as well as had the creators on the show. If you want to go check that episode out, you can always do that. But it's really fun. We all liked it, and the kids are still getting a kick out of it. They want to play Out of Sorts. We've got the robot ones, there's animal ones. I like the animal ones. And you can also make your own. So definitely check out of Sorts, a game for creativity or creative kids of all ages on Kickstarter through this Thursday, the 19th of July. Next, we've got Vikingjarl, the board game. It's an exciting strategic board game about Vikings, Norse mythology, warfare, trade, and building settlements made by Norwegian Vikings. And I actually had one of the Norwegian Vikings that made this great game on the show. You can go back and listen. Right now they have 3 days to go. They're at just shy of 10,000 below their goal. They end this Friday, the 20th of July. If they don't make it, I hope that they go ahead and relaunch so we can see this great game become a reality. Next, we've got CGI, Casual Game Insiders, CGI, from Casual Game Revolution, year number 7. It's a quarterly board game magazine that focuses on the best new casual games from a wide variety of publishers. Time to start reading. They've surpassed their goal by 300%. They're at 34,000 out of 10,000, and they just keep on going. There's about a week left to get on this great project, ending the 24th of July. I know there's an option to be able to become a lifetime subscriber on the digital for only $40. And if you're a publisher or anything like that and you want to get some advertisements, now's a great time to get your product on the eyes of over 20,000 readers? No, over 2,000 readers in 2,500 game stores on the BGG store. They're also at 130 locations of Barnes & Noble and 150 Books A Million. So definitely check this out. There's also an app for that. So definitely check this out. Casual Game Insider from Casual Game Revolution. Ending in a week, like I said. Next is Snag the Flag. Get moving and laugh it up. Are you ready to make fitness fun and turn game night into an action-packed laugh fest for all ages? If you are, you found the right game from Delirious Games, Snag the Flag. They're going for 8 days more, and they're going through the 25th of July. They're at over half of their goal. So if you want to help this become a reality, let's go ahead and get after Snag the Flag. We had the creator on the show a while back ago. You can go back and listen, like always, if you want to. And let's go ahead. Next, are you going to be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, the 12th through the 14th of October this year? If you are, and even if you're not, you definitely want to check out bringing HLG Con to the next level. So they have great advertising options, plus High Level Games is hosting a convention in Atlantic City this October, like I said, and they want to have the best material on hand to create an awesome experience. They've reached their goal, and there's still 9 days to get on this project, going through the 26th of July. So definitely check it out if you're in any of the neighboring areas. You can go listen to my interview with Josh, and we talk all about High Level Games and their con. Next, you've got Immortality, a Greek mythology game with dice, cards, and more. Greek mythology for all to enjoy. Roll dice, draw cards, battle beasts. Will you get out alive? Will you? Well, there's only one way to find out. Go ahead and become a backer of this great game that has reached their goal, and they're going for another 9 days, going through the 26th of July, which is Thursday. So definitely check that one out. And then next we've got Crown of Aragon. It's a 2-player card game of medieval intrigue and conquest that can be played in 15 minutes. Seize the Crown. We did a review of this, or a preview of it, and we liked it, plus we had the creators on the show. Definitely check out this game going through the 27th of July. You got 10 days to go, so get on it. Next is Asana Kids. Learn yoga and mindfulness while playing. Do yoga poses, align the crackus, help the princess to get rid of their bad emotions before they block them. So if you like yoga, you'll love this game of yoga and mindfulness. Definitely check it out. Go to the Kickstarter page like usual. We'll leave links in the show notes. You have 15 days to go to help this project reach reality, ending the 1st of August. Next, what do we got next? Well, let's find out. We've got The Abandon's a soul labyrinth escape game. Do you like to play games alone? Or is it hard to find people to play games with? Or you just want to meditate while you play a game? Definitely check out The Abandoned, the Soul Labyrinth escape game from Puzzling Pixel Games. It's a solitaire game of labyrinth escape, portable, simple to learn, and unique each time you play it. Definitely, they've reached their goal, and there's still 16 days to jump on this great project ending Thursday, the 2nd of August. So definitely check out The Abandons. Plus, $13 gets you the stretch goals. Awesome. So definitely check it out. Next, we've got Kingdoms of Erden. King of the Mountain Dwarven Expansion. Collect faction members and dominate the mountain in this fantasy set collection strategy card game. Ages 10 plus, 2 to 5 players, 15 to 45 minutes. They reach their goal and there's still 17 days to go, ending on the 3rd of August. Definitely check this out, ending Friday the 3rd of August. And then what else do we got here? We've got Joust for Fun, a historically inaccurate card game. This one looks pretty fun. Some of the art is awesome. It's an easy-to-learn game for 2 to 4 players, full of pop culture twists, perfect puns, and a unique combat system. They've reached their goal, and they just reached another stretch goal, so they're going for another 19 days, ending the 5th of August. Let's see what stretch goal. Now they're going for the $15,000 stretch goal, a new knight, and some new court cards. Definitely check this one out on the Kickstarters, like I said, through the 5th of August. And then next we've got Clustered 2nd Edition. It's a strategic card game in which you battle your opponents by placing cards with matching attributes next to each other. Can you out-strategize everyone to win? Well, if you can, this might be the game for you. They're over, 25, they're 300% funded, and there's still 23 days to go, going through the 9th of August. So, and it looks like it's $15. That might be 15 plus shipping, so definitely check out Clustered, the 2nd edition. And then I want to say that's it, but I don't want to misinform you. So let's do a double take on our thing. See what we got here. Few more. Yes, let's see. So Kickstarter Corner, did we cover all the games for you? There's plenty more games on Kickstarter. You can always go there and search. But definitely go ahead and check out Theosis that we talked to the creator on today's episode and see if you like that game. Like I said, they have reached their goal and there's only like 7 days left. Anyways, you'll want, if you haven't signed up for a mailing list, make sure you do that because you can get secret content or content before your friends. Go over to GamerLeafGo.com. Also remember, we're doing a giveaway sponsored with TLDR Game Series, Unfiltered Gamer, and also the Giveaway Geek, in which you can win, one lucky listener or winner can win a copy of Gloomhaven. You don't have $140 to spend to get that game? Definitely you want to enter our giveaway then. Anyways, our least favorite time, your least favorite time for us to get on with our lives, you to get on with yours, and I guess we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.